Okay, so it's been a week since I've recorded, and before I was loading the save, I was trying to think about what happened last time. But I think she's going to give us a lecture about the different kind of vampires. Although we're typically called simply vampires, we are divided into two main categories. Those who are vampires from the start, and those who become vampires. The former are called true ancestors, and the latter are called the dead apostles. The ones you call vampires are the dead apostles. They drain the blood of humans and turn them into the slaves. They are weak against sunlight, and you can vanquish them with a baptism ritual. Our enemy is one of these dead apostles. It's gone from my enemy to our enemy. Well, I don't mind. It's not wrong, considering the situation I'm in now. So you're saying these dead apostles aren't vampires from the start? What do you mean by that? Dead apostles were once humans. They attained immortality through magic, or had their blood sucked by one of the true ancestors. Either way, the ones who become vampires who become immortal, even though it's imperfect immortality. Let me guess, imperfect immortality means that they need to hunt humans for their blood in order to sustain immortality. Maybe that's the key difference between the true ancestors and these apostles, I guess. Those who were vampires from the beginning, and humans who became vampires. What is this? I get the feeling that there's some kind of huge contradiction to all of this. It feels like some kind of important fundamental is missing somewhere in this theory. Hey Shiki, how much do you know about vampire folklore? Let's see. Just the usual stuff. They suck the blood of virgins. Really? Do they have to be virgins? They can bind people just by looking at them. They can turn into mist and wolves. Just the usual stuff you hear about. Yeah, that's pretty much all true. They drain the blood of virgins, because one's blood cells are more pure before one has exchanged bodily fluids with others. That makes virgins the most suitable for repairing the vampire's own degenerating genes. The dead apostles, the ones that become vampires, have imperfect immortality. Since they became immortal, they won't die from old age. However, they need to replenish their energy frequently, or they will disappear. All living creatures need nutrients to be able to move, right? It's the same thing. It's just that vampires don't die from age, as long as they take in the nutrients. Dead apostles take blood because they need it to stay alive. Immortality is a strain on their originally human bodies. The genes that compose their bodies are different. When they become vampires, they begin to degenerate at an incredible rate. To make up for that, they must drain the blood of others in order to absorb genetic information and stabilize their own bodies. To a vampire, drinking blood is not like eating. It is the minimum requirement for them to continue to exist. This sounds complex. and long. I can't follow the logic. Oh god, it's been a week and I have forgotten how to say her name. Marguerite? Nonetheless, continue speaking. Or as some people said in the comments, best girl. So, moving on. This ability to bind someone with just a look is a type of mystic eyes. Eyes and words are both common types of magic circuits. So there are many vampires who have mystic eyes. We usually possess the mystic eyes of enchantment. We don't enchant people by looking at them, rather, we enchant those who look into our eyes. A powerful vampire using mystic eyes can impose his own will into the brain of another and completely dominate their thoughts. But the mystic eyes of a dead apostle doesn't have that much power. What you call turning into mist is really just making a spare body and controlling it via the will. Once the part serves its purpose, you cut the mana flow to the offshoot and naturally it returns to dust. Wolves and other animal transformations are the byproduct of a vampire repairing its damaged body from its familiars. For a vampire living a long time, stabilizing their bodies with normal lives is not sufficient. Humans are not fundamentally powerful animals, so it's more effective to repair one's body by absorbing beasts, as they surpass the human species in this respect. Vampires who repair their own bodies with beasts can return those beasts to their previous forms and use them as familiars when they need to. From what I've heard, there's even a 1,000-year-old vampire whose body is made up entirely of familiars. I'm willing to bet that vampire is going to be into play later. They say he contains 666 beasts within his body, or something like that anyway. I think Agri's getting a little too wrapped up in her own speech, to be honest. I'm not finding this world easy to understand. Yeah, that's about it. This is an explanation of the very basics. But now, do you know what a vampire is? Well, I suppose the reality of Agri being a vampire begins to feel harder and harder to accept. Now it's my turn. Actually, there's something important I've forgotten to ask you too. What? You're not going to learn anything from me. I'm not a vampire or anything. Just an ordinary student. Then, let me ask you this, Shiki. How exactly did you kill me? Huh? I'm asking about the methods you used. I'm resistant against stuff like runes and Kabbalah, so those don't work on me. The only things I'm not resistant against is magic I've yet to experience. which is probably limited to the Asian Shinto in this country, and the treasures in South America. No, and even those could kill me that much. Answer me, Shiki. What kind of occult artifact did you use to incapacitate me to the degree? Occult artifacts? What's that? A catalyst which stores ideas and history? Jeez. You've got sacred treasures in this country too, don't you? They're usually something like staffs and swords, jewels and masks. Conceptual weapons that can be used against nature itself. Come on, Shiki. Are you sure you're not someone from one of those fields? That really sounds similar to Fate's Day Night, honestly. But I really enjoy the fact that we're actually delving into the lore. What field? I told you, I'm just a student. I don't know anything. That's a lie. She was referring to Magi. I knew it. There's no way a human who's not even a magus can hurt me. Are you hiding something from me, Shiki? Margaret gives me an angry, cat-like stare. But even if she looks at me like that, I'm not hiding anything. Oh wait. Actually, there's one thing. I'm not sure whether it's relevant, but she's still glaring at me. It doesn't seem like I'll be able to keep quiet about it. Alright, I'll tell you, but how should I put this? I can see these lines that can be used to cut things. Huh? Oh, she's stunned. She should be. Normally, I don't think anyone would believe a story like this. I honestly think that she would believe it. But that power to cut and see those lines is just very unusual. What do you mean? He asks in a serious tone. She's not exactly normal. I should have known she would defy my expectations in a good way. I mean, I see these lines where things can be cut. Living things, the ground, anything touchable. It's like a black line, and I can cut things clean when I let anything sharp through it. Does that mean anything to you? It's convenient to be able to cut steel with a knife and all, but it's not like I can cut it anywhere I like. I can only cut things where I can see the lines, and when I cut you, well, then cut a girl's skin with just a knife, right? Oh crap, she really looks angry. Liquid's eyes are serious as he glances at me. Those wide eyes that I've seen only once before. A gaze that could stop my breathing. I see. I thought the mystic eyes of death perception only existed in fairy tales. But I guess there's someone who can use them. A mutated monster like you. Wait, mutated monster? What does that mean? What? I don't think a vampire can call me a monster. A monster is a monster. There isn't anyone, even amongst us, with mystic eyes that can see the death of things. I know I said, or at least theorized a few parts ago, that I thought that Shiki's accident wasn't an accident at all, rather a ritual to do stuff, and they just tampered with his memories in order to cover that up. And this really adds to that theory. Huh? See the death of things? A great nods and affirmation with an inimical gaze, whatever that means. A sacred must have opened in your eyes, Shiki. Are you born with eyes like that? I'm thinking Shiki might be... I thought when I first saw the name Shiki that he was a vampire, since Shiki reminded me of the anime Shiki, which is about vampires. And she calls him a monster. So he's either a mutated vampire or being artificially made a vampire, or a magus, but I don't think it would be a magus, since this power, according to her, is way too strange and too deviant. No, they became like this a long time ago, but I wasn't born with them. Then you must have had one near-death experience at some point, right? Well, how do you know that? It's true. 8 years ago, I got into an accident where I almost died. Just as I suspected, I had a latent ability, but that must have been the trigger. The mystic eyes of death perception. Huh? Okay, so maybe that accident really was an accident. I guess that's kinda debunks my theory. Yes, with those, you could definitely kill even me. With a small sigh, Arque's eyes return to normal. The question is, how did he inherit that latent ability? Obviously, I'm just speculating aloud, so please don't answer that if you know it. But I think that's the crucial question. Do you know something about these lines? Not to the extent you would, but I do have some information. What you see is the end of all things, the point where things die easily. put it simply, the time of death for everything in existence, that is, death itself. Oh, that would be terrifying to see. Just imagine seeing the lifespan of the people that you love. I remember now that time when Sensei gave me these glasses. She had told me something similar to what Akrit said. But there's a subtle difference to what Sensei said and what she said. What I'm saying are only lines, and not something as disturbing as death. What are you saying? What I see are just the lines where things can be cut. I'm telling you, those lines are the death of an object. Listen, Shiki. Everything in existence has an end. There are differences to when, but it's an end nonetheless. Death does not arrive. It is already contained within the object at its creation, and it's bound to happen someday. This is what is called the principle of causality. You've heard of that before, right? As long as something has an origin, it must have an end. When it will end is determined from its beginning. That's its so-called time of death. So, as it already exists from the beginning, it's not possible for one to see it but their eyes, given that they can comprehend the concept of a time of death, and they have the appropriate circuit in their brain and eyes. That's the truth behind those lines you see. This is nothing more than the general concept, but if I were to theorize, I would say that they're the weakest parts of the joints between the molecules in something, or perhaps a pre-designated switch within the genetic makeup that activates the death of that object. But that doesn't really make sense. I can't see them. I can't say for sure. But the lines aren't all you can see, are they? I would think there would be points more than lines. That's right. I first saw her when I wasn't myself. When I took off my glasses, I could see the usual scribbles and black points where the scribbles seemed to flow from. There were. It only happened at one time, but definitely, probably because it was the only time when you saw really a thing that could end, a living thing that could end. I saw black points. There were several points on your body, and the black lines flowed between them, joining them up. If I had to make an analogy, I would say they were like blood vessels. I see. The lines where things die easily, and death itself. I'm surprised you've stayed alive up until now like this. You must have a very tranquil heart, Shiki. It says this philosophically. In my own way, I understand what she's saying, but I don't want to believe any of it. What? There's no way that sort of thing exists. Let alone me being able to see it. I'm kinda scared that Shiki is maybe made in some kind of weapon. Like, obviously you can kill things rather easily with those lines, but it's that rage when he saw her. Like at that moment he was activated just to kill her. No matter what. Well, you are seeing it. Usually. When you got living beings neck, they die. People die when they are killed. This means it stops because you've cut it. Conversely, you can say that if you can't cut something's neck, it won't die. And this is about me, so just consider it an exception. But in your case, you can ignore the cause. Even against that which is immune to all external effects, you kill first. What is killed then becomes dead. It's not that it stopped because you cut it, but in your case, you stop the object, and as a result, it is cut. It's almost like Lancer's noble phantasm, honestly. Since that lance always pierces the opponent's heart, like the cause and effect is reversed. See? What else can I call you but a monster? You may just call them lines, along with something can be cut. But those eyes are more special than those possessed by any other user of supernatural power in history. You, Shiki, have the eyes that can kill anything, just like death itself. I'm at a loss for words. If that really is what I see, just like she is saying, those black lines really are the time of death of all things, then everything around me is filled with death. So what? If it's all as you say, I should be able to kill even you. Really? Then let's try it. Please don't. She opens the curtains. The lights are off. The only illumination is the faint moonlight coming in through the window. Come on, it's alright. Try it. Seriously. Wait. Could it be you can see them with those glasses on? Are you sure about this? I take my glasses off. Only to see the lines, of course. At same time, room begins to write with the black lines. Outside the window, the moon is white. It's difficult to see in the daytime due to strong sunlight, but under the faint moonlight, I can even see the glow coming from the lines. Amidst them, the lines on our grid's body are very thin. If I don't concentrate, I'll lose sight of them altogether. If I hadn't been killed by you, I don't think you would be able to see any at all. But right now, you can probably see them. You see, although I have no times of death during the night, some do appear during the day. You could kill me because it was during daytime, but you can see my time of death during nighttime now, since I've used up a lot of energy to regenerate myself. In other words, I have lost my immortality. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. So, can you cut the lines on my body, Shiki? Let's see. I think I probably could, since the lines are there. But I don't think I could do it so briskly and without hesitation like that time before. I think it would be hard. Lines keep fading in and out. So I probably couldn't do it unless you were sleeping. You can't, right? That's your biggest weak point. No matter how many tests you can see, you need to trace the line with your own hands. No matter how weak I am right now, my athletic ability isn't so low that I would be caught by you. I see. Come to think of it, I can't catch agile animals. That means I can't touch their bodies. In other words, even if I can see these lines, I can't kill anything that moves. How? I feel a stuff of pain run through my head. Looking at the lines gives me a headache, just like I did when I was a child. I put on my glasses and the world returns to normal. You're staring intently at me. What? Is there something else? No, that's not it. You can see the lines if you put those glasses on. Yeah. The big question is, obviously the people who made those glasses were the ones that were aware of those eyes. I got them from someone a long time ago, and my eyes first became like this. I'm only using the lenses now, but thanks to them, I can lead a normal life. Yes, I see. No matter how strong a mind you may have, your only choices when faced with death all the time would be to put out your eyes or go mad. Saying that, our greed comes closer. Hey, can I take a look at them? No, these are important to me. I'm not handing them over to you. I just took a very small break in order to drink some water. I don't want to strain my voice too much since I've been sick for quite a while. I'm almost 100% better now. Come on, I'm not going to break them. I'm just going to look at them. Margaret creeps closer. I get the feeling she wouldn't be at first getting them by force. Interesting choice. My first thought would be fine for a little bit. But I guess I'll leave that choice up to next time. Like I said in my Umineko video, I was thinking about starting a Discord server since I've been using Discord for over a year now. And it would seem like fun, so maybe I'll just put a link to the Discord in the description. But anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time,